The others follow Ravioli along the path, which isn't far from the observatory. When they arrive, they are speechless. Papaya. The secret warehouse. Banani. Wow, it's real. In front of them is a huge underground room. Inside, mountains of stacked boxes filled with hamburger ingredients, perfectly preserved by the freezing cold. Ravioli. A mountain of supplies. This will last us for years. Banani. And perfectly preserved by the ice age cold. Papaya. We don't even have to worry about the electricity bill. Igor. A daydream come true for Papaya, who only remembered it when it was served to him. Banani. But what if someone else found this place? Igor. Relax, Banani. Whoever came up with that map was sure no one in the world would pay attention to a children's drawing included as a toy in a fast food meal. Not even the kids themselves. But they didn't account for someone childish and hungry like Ravioli. Loaded with boxes, the four make their way back to Nasal. Their backpacks are also full of packages. As soon as they enter, the other colleagues stand open-mouthed. Researcher 1. But, what's all this stuff? Ravioli, triumphant, lifts a bag full of frozen bacon. Ravioli. The treasure of the Ice Age. Banani. An underground warehouse, sealed by ice. Perfectly preserved. Papaya. And the bill is on the asteroid. Laughter fills the room. The Nasal cafeteria turns into an impromptu feast. Pans sizzle, hamburgers and bacon spin endlessly. Everyone eats as if it were the last day on Earth. Igor, with a slice of bacon on his fork and a glass of soda in hand, looks around and sighs. Igor. Well, at least for the next 100 years we won't have any doubts about what to serve for breakfast. A roar of laughter follows the joke. Ravioli raises his sandwich like a trophy. Ravioli. To the greatest discovery in history. Papaya. And to Nasal, which always knows how to waste public funds. Everyone toasts. Months pass. At Nasal, the smell of science is gone, replaced only by fried bacon. The scientists walk slowly through the corridors, all swollen, round, bellies spilling over their suits. They've taken on Ravioli's appearance. Only Ravioli remains the same, he was already fat, and he stayed fat. Ravioli. Come on, let's go outside. You can't stay locked in here forever. Banani, sweaty and out of breath, shakes his head. Banani. Outside, you'd freeze to death. Papaya hugs his jacket tightly. Papaya. I'm not even trying. One gust of wind and I'll freeze. Igor looks at them with disgust. Igor. Bah. You're ridiculous. You've all turned into cheap copies of Ravioli and now you're scared of a walk? Finally, amidst murmurs and sighs, they find the courage. They put on coats, open the door, and step outside. A blast of cold hits them. They stand still, shivering. Then, nothing. Papaya. Wait. I'm not freezing. Banani. Me neither. But, how is this possible? Ravioli smiles triumphantly. Ravioli. It's simple. The fat. All that fried bacon, it protected you from the cold. Like penguins, like seals. Now you can survive the new ice age. The others look at each other, first shocked, then relieved. For the first time in months, they walk calmly, a little awkwardly, on the snow, no longer afraid. Igor. Congratulations. You've turned Nasal into a colony of walruses. The scientists move forward through the snow. The streets are empty, the buildings abandoned. Then they notice some steaming grates. A man, covered in furs, emerges from a manhole and stares at them. Papaya. A survivor? Banani. Wait, he's not alone. From underground, Other men and women emerge, wrapped in rags and coats. Their faces are gaunt, but in their eyes shines a strange determination. One wears an armband with the symbol of the sun rising from behind a mountain of ice. Survivor. Welcome to the capital. Papaya. Capital. But this was our city. Survivor. Now it's much more than that. The nation has reorganized here, under the streets, in the tunnels. Here the new government keeps what's left of the people together. Banani. In the tunnels. Survivor. Underground there's warmth. Old systems, old subways. That's where we live, that's where we survive. And you? I see you're a bit chubby. Ravioli opens his mouth to speak, but Igor immediately puts a hand on his shoulder. Igor. SHH, quiet, Ravioli. State secret. Ravioli lowers his gaze, muttering to himself. The survivor sizes them up carefully. Papaya. We had supplies, but we ate them all to gain weight, resist the cold, and look for hope out there. Survivor. The council wants to see you. You're not like the others. You're from Nasal, right? Igor. Is that a compliment, an insult, or a medical diagnosis? The scientists exchange glances. Papaya. The council? Survivor. Yes. The underground capital needs you. The scientists are led into a large underground hall. The walls are lined with old screens and rusty pipes. In the center, on an improvised throne made from subway seats, sits the president of the new government. President. Welcome. From today, your city is the capital of survival. Igor crosses his arms, looks at the improvised throne, and mutters. Capital. And here I thought it was just another stop on line B. The president laughs. Then laughs harder. Then brings a hand to his chest, gasps, and collapses to the floor. Absolute silence. Papaya. Oh no. Banani. I can't believe it. Ravioli. He's dead. Igor. Serious. I never thought my jokes could be so funny they'd literally kill someone, from laughing. The survivors erupt in shouts. Survivors. Get him. He's a murderer. A chaotic chase starts in the tunnels. Igor runs, muttering curses under his breath. A door creaks, he bumps into it, and accidentally flings it open. Behind it is a pack of hungry wolves that had trapped the community for months. The wolves leap at Igor but trip over each other on the greasy bacon-slicked floor that Ravioli had dropped from his pocket. The door slams shut, trapping the entire pack inside a wagon. The survivors, who witnessed the scene, stand open-mouthed. Head of the guards. He defeated the wolves. Banani. No, that's not exactly how it happened. Papaya. Shushing him. Yes, that's exactly how it happened. The crowd erupts into a chant. Survivors. President. 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 Igor is lifted and placed on the throne. He finds the power sash on him, looking bewildered. Igor. Dazed, I just wanted a coffee. The crowd presses in front of the screens. Survivors in the tunnels wait silently. Igor is pushed onto the podium, still wearing someone else's jacket. Survivor. Speak, President. This is your first chance in front of the nation. Igor grabs the microphone, looking at it like a dentist's drill. He sweats. He stammers. Then, not knowing what to say, he blurts out. Igor. What do weather reliability and the ice age temperature have in common? Everything. They're both below zero. 2 seconds of silence. Then, a roar of laughter. Men and women doubled over. Some clap their hands. Others cry from laughing. Igor stands stunned. Igor. It was just a joke. but it's too late. The crowd shouts his name, the council nods in satisfaction, and in that moment, his leadership, something he never wanted, is cemented forever. The secretary approaches the microphone, visibly anxious. The crowd falls silent, waiting for the last words of the broadcast. Secretary. People of the new era, in these years of ice, fear, and silence, we were missing something, a reason to smile. And today, our president, what's his name? Igor. Whispering, Igor. Secretary. Yes. Igor. He has given us back what we'd been missing for too long, a laugh. The crowd explodes into applause, shouts, and cheers. Crowd. Igor. 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 Igor stands still on the podium, then mutters to himself. Igor. To himself. Perfect. Now my success as the leader of a post-apocalyptic survivor crowd depends on the jokes I tell. Okay, so if the next one doesn't make them laugh, more than putting me on the podium, these will put me on the gallows. For a while, aside from Igor's new responsibilities, everything goes well. The four of them, with their families, continue their new life at Nasal. But, unbeknownst to anyone, a small problem is about to grow. In the server room, the printer hums on its own. Every time one of the three scientists says something foolish, a zzzzzrrr sounds, and it spits out a sheet of paper. On the floor, the pile grows silently. Papaya, from the corridor. I think the coffee from the machine has healing properties. Zzzzzrrr. On the sheet, yes, especially against conference sleepiness. Banani, fiddling with some wires. If I connect two cables at random, maybe I'll invent something. Zzzzzrrr. On the sheet, congratulations, new patent, universal short circuit. Ravioli, with a sandwich in hand. I say the Mediterranean diet works better if you remove the Mediterranean part. Zzzzzrrr. On the sheet, genius. Only the diet and the belly remain. The sheets stack up, white and threatening. The printer only stays silent when Igor speaks. The server room door remains closed. No one has noticed the growing mountain of paper yet. Banani has wires strewn everywhere, red cables, black cables, tape dangling like cobwebs. He is tinkering with the toaster in the cafeteria, convinced he can turn it into a modem. Banani. If I can channel the signal here, nasal sprain will communicate directly with the Republic of Smiling Icebergs. Ravioli. What is that? A new brand of popsicles? Banani. No. It's the name they gave our new nation, led by Igor. Papaya. But why a toaster? Banani. I don't know. Maybe because the idea came to me this morning while waiting for the bread to toast. But I could have chosen anything else, it still wouldn't work. Ravioli. Meanwhile, Igor enters the cafeteria, having heard nothing of the conversation. Oblivious, he spreads butter on a slice of bread and slides it into the toaster. Ravioli. I just hope the bread doesn't get stuck inside. Banani. There's a good chance it will explode. Papaya. Maybe we should warn Igor. Banani. No. Too late, and besides, we needed a test subject to lower the switch lever. Who knows, maybe it'll work. Papaya. How will we know? Banani. If nothing explodes and the bread comes out with binary code burned into it. Igor slides his slice in, sighing. Igor. I have a strange feeling, the scientists are way too calm today. Igor lowers the lever to start the cooking. A spark runs along the network cable connected to the wall. The toaster buzzes like a hive gone mad. Igor. Oh. A powerful jolt throws Igor across the room. The toaster explodes into 1,000 pieces. The charred slice of bread flies and lands on Igor's head. Banani rushes toward Igor, but instead of helping him, he dives for the slice of bread. Banani. Wait. Let me see. Success. Look here, Igor, the burn marks printed a binary file on the bread. Now we just need to adjust the power to avoid the side effect of the explosion. Igor. Perfect. You've just invented the nuclear toast. Ravioli. Ugh. And here I was hoping to make myself a nice toast too. Banani takes notes as if it were a major success.